a heart attack. Fast fatal thought impact. Past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful thoughts and past. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask. Grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word. Then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kure's show here, and now. Whenever we last left off with this series, we last had Deku. He got into UA and he walked into class wanting to find the girls. He was happy to find that all of them got into UA and into the first place of all their groups. Deku, he was happy. He wouldn't have to go through this without them by his side. He was thinking about that. However, there also was the attention he drew to himself during the first day. Many people were looking at Deku like an anomaly, since he technically is one. People are aware that Deku, without his quirk, he's already super strong and super fast. And using his quirk, he's on a whole other level than that. Now, whenever we last saw Deku, he was not training with the girls. He was at his apartment and he was meditating. And while he was meditating deep in thought, he did start to levitate off the ground. Now, with that being said, we actually will be picking up the next day, or the weekend, where Deku, he would have the day off. Deku, he's just sitting down in his apartment. He's gotten some things moved in here now, but at the same time, there's still a lot more he can do with his place. Right now, he does at least have a television. And while it was simple to order, he does also at least think about getting a couch, since otherwise you're basically set down on the floor. And while Deku, he doesn't really mind that, the couches would probably be comfortable. Now, Deku, he does just try to think though, as he does sit down and look around the room. The place is pretty open, and it's actually a lot quieter than back at his parents' place. Deku's just trying to think about those words. He always thought whenever he was a kid this would be different. Yeah, he'd probably be stuck in the main household because he is the grandson of the demon. But at the very least, it wouldn't be this quiet. That being what Deku does wonder. It's off-putting to him. However, while he is sitting here, he does go to meditate. However, his thoughts, they do turn away from that idea. Deku, he does still sit in the pose with his eyes closed. And he is just thinking. How is he supposed to trust his uncle? He didn't kill grandfather. How is he supposed to trust that? The man all of Deku's life, he's known him, he's been nothing but a violent psychopath. However, Deku, he's not really even any different. Deku, he's killed people before for missions for the Kure. Deku, he's done things he's not proud of. And he's been a part of the family for his entire life. Everything that he used to think was normal is not. The way he's living his life, it's not normal at all either. Deku, he does get angry with these thoughts. And he does think back about his training. He broke the promise, and he had to cut that hair. He actually liked it longer. There's a chance that he could make that vow again. Try to keep it. Grow his hair as long as he can. However, that's just the problem. Something inside of him, it's telling him he can't do that. It's craving and lusting for battle. He can feel it. It's burrowing under his skin. It feels like a knife being taken to the back of his neck. Something's just trying to control him. And Deku does not like it. Now, as Deku is trying to think about the situation, think about the threat that Kure might be facing. He does hit his head. And Deku, the moment he actually does do that, he does look up confused, thinking that somebody might have hit him on the head, or that something may have fallen through the floor. It's not a strange thing to think of, especially for a Kure in a place full of them. Something falling through the floor would be as easy to dismiss as shattering a wall back at the Kure village. And Deku, whenever he does look up to try and see what hit him, he does somewhat have his concentration break, as that's the ceiling. Deku confused, as he does go to smash onto the floor and just lay there for a second. Deku's staring up. That was... Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Deku going to look down at his hands, as he does try to think. That should not be possible. He is nowhere near Zen. This is strange. Deku just thinking. Okay, if it's not him achieving inner peace, what might it be? And this is where something does click with Deku, as he does turn his head to see Nana Shimura. And she is just standing there as Deku does jump to his feet and go to bring up one of his hands. As the person, or Nana, she does walk through to Deku, and Deku is going to throw out one of his fists. Deku, having his fist phase right through her, as he does step forwards, and go to look down and turn around confused. Yeah. Sorry, we've been meaning to have a talk with you. What the fuck is going on? Okay. This is all bad? Nana Shimura looking confused, as she knows that this guy, yeah, he's fucked up. But he's taking this a lot better than she thought. Okay, well, either my gas alarms aren't going off, someone's put drugs in my water supply, or my food has been tainted with something, and I'm about to be ambushed. No, actually, not any of those. Okay, did you just respond to me? Yes, I did. You're Izuku Kure. You're All Might's successor. God damn it. So you're gonna try and blackmail me then? With your quirk? So what? Okay, listen. My name is Nana Shimura. I was All Might's mentor. I'm the one who trained him how to use his quirk. I'm the one who gave it to him. Okay. Okay? You're dead though, aren't you? Yes. So I'm talking to a ghost. Technically, yes, but technically, no. I'm a part of One for All. All the users are. And we've been trying to talk to you, but really, it has not been a good time. Right now, is. And, well, you just use my quirk, Float. Okay, so what? Well, many of the other users, they want to give you access to their abilities. However, they are on the fence about it. Even, well, I think Fifth said he'd give you his quirk. Who? Right. Listen, or Fifth. I think I meant Sixth. It's the guy with the black whip quirk. Anyways, now. Nana, she does try to continue. She does try to sit Deku down and talk to him. she wants to know exactly what's going on with him, since she herself has had to make big decisions in her life, and she's seen his. Her commenting that Deku and the second user, or even the first, they might need to have a chat. And Deku, he is confused. However, she does give him a full rundown on all this, explaining that within One for All, he can basically talk to them, see them, use their abilities, and basically look into the past, or take a view into the past from what they know about it. And Deku, he does like that. Okay, so he has more powers, just beyond the removal, and his techniques, and his skills, and his quirk. So Deku, he just does wonder. How is he supposed to keep this under wraps from his family now? It'd be kind of suspicious growing up all these years without an ability just for somehow 2 decades later. Hey, the quirkless leader of the Kure clan, he has, from what his understanding is, about, what, 7, 8 quirks? No. Not that she does at least try to express it. Deku can hide a lot of them. And he doesn't really have to use their quirks. Just know that they're able to be used if he does so desire. They can be used in desperate times of need. And, really, the only ones she thinks that he would ever actually need to use is her quirk. Talking about how, with it, transportation is a lot easier than his car. And Deku, he does take some offense to that, telling her that that car was a gift from his grandfather. And while this is all going on, we actually do have outside, where they are knocking on Deku's door. And they do actually hear a bit of the commotion that's going on. As they do crack open the door, and you do actually have Deku, who he is just standing there. He looks like he's talking to himself. And they're kinda surprised. Them deciding to close the door and wait by the steps. As we do have whenever Deku does come walking outside, just trying to think. Okay. One for all. Powers. Got it. Could this day get any weirder? Deku actually looking up and kind of surprised. As you do actually have Bakugo. Huh? What the hell are you doing here? Hi. So, are you alright? I'm fine. Really? 'Cause I could hear you from out here. And it sounded like you were screaming at somebody. I'm dealing with a lot. Yeah, I kinda know about that. What do you know? Nothing, nothing. It's just, you got a lot of shit to work through, don't you? More than you think. Now, she does actually come walking inside, as Deku, he does at least allow her to do so. Her setting down the bag she has with her, as Deku, he does go to grab 2 stools and set them down by the counter. Her going to pull out a bowl and at least going to pull out another one, as she does try to ask if he's okay. I'm not. My head's strange. My quirk is acting up. Your quirk? One for all? Yeah. I'm able to control it, but I might have something else I can do now. You mean like a new ability? You figure out something you can mix with it? You know, like one of your skills? Uh, sure. So, what are you doing here? Her going to grab something else out of the bag. As she set it down in front of Deku, talking about how she came here to talk to him. And she also did at least want to ask for some more training. Training? Yeah. Listen, I know Kendo, she's acting weird, and she kinda did push you away. did she? She doesn't act like it. Well, she did with training. She does want to talk to you and be around you, I know that much. But for training, it does seem like she's acting weird. I don't know. I asked Kirishima and she told me. Your cousin beat both of them up. Yeah, I know. My cousin's crazy. Yeah. Along with that, there's your family that we met. Oh god, what did they do? Well, they didn't do anything. They just kinda stared at us. And even then, with what your cousin told us, yeah, I'm still confused about all of this stuff. Now, Deku, he does go to open this thing she set in front of him, as it's a bowl of ramen. Her talking about how she picked this up at a place close by, and that the broth should still be warm, as she has go to pull two things of it out of the bag and go to open them up. As Deku does watch, as she is going to grab some hot sauce. Her pouring some inside one, as Deku, he does look at what she's doing. Her turning to him, as she does ask if he wants some. Sure. Her going to pour some inside his. Before closing the tops, shaking them up, and going to put them in the noodles. As Deku, he does look at the hot sauce. Interesting. Now, Katsuki, she does try to eat and talk to Deku. As, well, the two, they are talking. Deku, he knows why she's really here now. She wants to come here to start training, just a bit harder. She started late on the removal training, and she is the furthest behind everybody. While all the girls, they are capable of using the loan, not the removal, my bad. Yeah. Long day. Anyways, while the girls are capable of using the loan and not the removal, Katsuki, she is still trying to understand a lot of the ability. While she is able to use it a little bit, the whole point is she struggles. She kind of does still hesitate. The idea of almost giving yourself a heart attack to use this particular ability, it's one that she kinda doesn't really want to try. However, she does know that if taught properly by Deku, it can help her out quite a bit. She even does have this idea. Deku had this idea of combining the removal and the loan. And she does have this idea that if she does use this ability long enough, she can almost make it like the removal. Her idea is to try to master this particular skill and make it one that she can easily access in her tool belt. And Deku, he can actually try and see the idea with it. He can see her in his head with the power of the loan in her quirk. If he does have this right, quirks are physical abilities, so even her quirk should be boosted. Thinking about it now, it would be like if she got one for all, right? Deku just thinking. All Might talked about that. One for all increases the power of quirks. So this would basically be an artificial version of it. A quirk booster. Now let Deku just think about it. If she were to do that, Deku looking over at her as he does at least have a mouthful of noodles, she could actually probably be very strong. Possibly a Kure level threat. And Deku, he does think about this deep down. His blood is boiling for a challenge. And this idea of training somebody to try to fight you, especially with this new idea put in his head, he does try to think about the other girls. It does seem odd. Mina's power, if something gets more acidic, then that is good. She can almost break down people in a way if she wanted to. She probably dilutes her acid with something. Gonna have to talk to her about that. Kendo, though, what would her quirk do? Deku just thinking. Would she turn into a big lady? Maybe. Or would her hands just get more durable? Easier to swing around already, so that's a thing. And then there's Kirishima. Deku knows that she has the most potential with her quirk. Her and Bakugo always did constantly train. And Deku, he does have to put in a decent amount of effort to actually break through her hardened skin. It does seem interesting. And Deku, he actually just turned to her, as he does somewhat slam his hand down, talking about how he'll accept his offer, as he does go to move in. And Bakugo, she actually does go to throw her head back into the side, as Deku basically is leaning in forwards. So, you really want to try to master the loan? Yes, I do. I don't want to fall behind. My quirk gives me a step up. I know that already. But the loan? That can be something else. Hell, Kendo used it. I saw how easily she can flail around her arms. It's not just that. It's, well, Mina, too. Kirishima. She's my best friend, and I feel like I'm falling behind her. I don't want to. That's the thing. No. Deku, he does go to bring his hand up. As, for a second, she thinks that Deku's going to do something. She thinks that Deku, he's going to try to snap some sense into her by just giving her some advice. Her expecting a hand on her shoulder, however, you do actually get where Deku just put his hand on her head. And she actually just will go to pause for a second. As Deku, he does inform her. She does need to know. Whenever he first started using the loan, that was easy for him. His body is in tune with the removal. And the loan, it's on a similar idea. However, what she wants to do, it can be dangerous. So he's going to guide her through it slowly. If she doesn't want to listen to him, she will have a heart attack and most likely die. If she does want to try to push too far, there's a chance that he might have to take her out because she either loses control or she might set off her quirk by accident. And then Deku does also bring up another idea. However, if she does get it down, as he does say, they will fight and train, and he will make her as strong as he possibly can. And this actually does cause Bakugo to lean forwards. Her actually throwing herself into a hug against Deku. As Deku, he does just somewhat have his hands up. Not sure what to really do. And you do actually have Bakugo's arms. They're wrapped around him, grabbing him by, well, his face and his neck, basically. He feels like this is a very forceful hug. And you do actually have where he does get to bring his hands around Bakugo. He never really realized it, but she actually does seem a lot smaller than she looks. While she is, well, a little bit shorter than him, and she is supposed to be stronger, these clothes she's wearing, while they're loose fitting, they do give the illusion that there should be more. And it does actually make Deku surprised. He wraps his arm around her and goes to bring his hand up and onto her shoulder. As Bakugo, she actually is somewhat going to pull away. As she does actually bring her hands up onto Deku's chest and push him back a bit, she does just look at him. Deku, he's still sitting down. And while she is kind of kneeling, it's surprising. They're both at level with each other. And she just stares at him. The expression on his face, it seems like one of surprise. One of someone who just is confused of what to do. It's strange to her. This guy seemed so elusive the first time she met him. And now she knows him. Now she's sitting here eating another meal with him. And it does somewhat confuse her. This guy is just so strange and weird. However, she doesn't know why. As you do actually have where Deku, he does lean in a bit. As Deku, he does kiss Bakugo. And the moment this does actually happen, you actually have Bakugo, who she is surprised and caught off guard. Her actually going to push back against Deku for a second, as she has used her quirk. Deku actually letting go of her as she just back off. Her standing up to her feet as she just bring her hand up to her mouth. Right now, she's confused. She, he just, did they, Deku just looking at her, surprised. As that's what he was supposed to do, right? Right? Now, Bakugo does just inform Deku that they'll start training tomorrow. And that, right now, she's just gonna leave. Her doing so. As Deku, he does want to try to chase her down, try to stop her and talk to her. However, he does just go to sit there, surprised. Was that the wrong response? Him turning back to his noodles as he does is try to contact Nana, or at least some of the other users to ask some questions. As we do actually have Bakugo. As she was walking down the stairs, she does at least go to bring her hands up to her mouth. Her mouth is on fire because of the hot sauce, and there is actually her lips. It must be because of Deku, but there's a slight tingling. It could just be the hot sauce, right? Her just trying to think. He kissed her. He actually did that. But she thought that him and Kendo were. But wait, that's wrong. This is how they. No, wait. Her kind of surprised. Her face is turning red. She's trying to think. As she doesn't know what to even say. If she tries to talk to the other girls about this, she would not hear the end of it. However, if she tries to talk to Deku about this, he's just as confused as she is about romantic feelings. In fact, he might just be a little bit more lost than her. And she does just decide to leave. However, she doesn't think that it was a bad thing that happened. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. To have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.